Okay, so it's been requested that I make a quick video of tearing down a Hifiman to help with people that want to do modifications. So the first step here I'm showing you is just to pop these grills off. All I did was use the smallest flathead screwdriver out of my little screwdriver kit there. The pads come off pretty easy. There's just like 4 little hooks on the inside, so you just kind of got to push them in or tug them in a little bit, and then they'll pop right off. Switch to a bigger flathead screwdriver, and this is how you undo the screws on the yokes to free the cups. Pretty simple and straightforward. And yeah, pretty much that's it as far as getting the cup free. So the next thing you have to do is you have to actually like remove the driver screws so you can get the driver out of the housing, and then you can pop those little you know, the things that the screws seat into to hold the yokes on. So just a little Phillips screwdriver, and then there's I think 6 screws on the HE560 here. They're each a little bit different, but 400 SE, 400i, 560, HE6, they all kind of follow this same pattern. There's just slightly different driver structures and screws on the inside, but more or less they're pretty much the same. So there's a little plastic ring here, and then there's like a little gasket that comes out as well. And then the driver will just pop right out of there. Okay, so at this point, I'm trying to show you the little screw things that the headphones mount in, and if you want to swap to like a 400i or like a suspension strap, these are the things you're going to need to remove, and then those new straps should just sit right in there. Like, you don't even have to screw them in or anything like that, which is kind of cool. On some headphones, like the HE6, it depends on which way these things are oriented when you put it back together, because they can only spin so far. On the HE560, it does not matter. As far as I could tell, those are the same in all the headphones. So those are the same in the HE6 and in the 400 SE and in the 560. Those little screw holders for the yokes. When you're putting it back in, you just got to pay attention to where the screw holes are and get those all lined up correctly. I actually kind of struggled to get the gasket back in there because the screw patterns are slightly different. So what ended up telling the difference on these here that you can see is like the little indents on the gasket helped me get that lined up appropriately in there. So it does go in a specific way, I guess, is what's to note. So you just got to pay attention to that. Then of course the ring has a specific way it needs to go into. Again, you just got to get all those lined up, and then it's just a matter of popping those screws back in. I kind of use the lug nut method where I kind of alternate and jump from side to side just to make sure I get things tightened down evenly. It's important to not over tighten. You want to just get them snug. You don't want to do them over tight, or you're going to strip out the threads, and that's going to cause a problem for you down the road. Then it's just a matter of popping the cups back in, or obviously if you had removed those little pieces of plastic so you could put a new suspension strap on, then you just basically just shove the suspension strap into those holes where those little plastic pieces would be. These are kind of like a half moon shape, and you just got to get them lined up correctly. It's really not complicated. I mean, you have to. My method was ended up getting like one in, and then I just got the other, but I got them rotated to be halfway close to where they needed to be. And then you just pop those other screws back in, for my case. Like I said, at this point, if you were putting that suspension strap on, you just stick them in those holes and you'd be done, and you wouldn't have to actually do this. At least that's how the 400i suspension strap was. And then, you know, it's just a matter of getting the pads and stuff back on. The pads have a specific way to go on. They are angled slightly. So I didn't pay super close attention to that when I took them off. I probably should have paid more attention. But basically, you want the thicker part towards the back of your head is what it comes down to. And Yeah, and then again, they've got 4 little notches, and you just kind of have to line those up and then just squeeze it slightly and kind of flex the plastic, and that's how I got mine seated in there correctly. Again, not too difficult. You just kind of got to fiddle with it a little bit. And then the final part here is the grills going back in. You could leave these off or get the hex mod. Either way, you're just going to seat whatever you put back in there. You're just going to seat it on there. And then those little plastic rings, they have 4 little notches on them that they sit into specific parts. So you just kind of stick it in there and then just rotate it around until it clicks in, and then you just poke the rest of them in. So very, very simple to get those on and off. No issues there at all. So, and like I said, a lot of people do the hex mods. I think they look cool with that, and I did find a noticeable improvement on the HE6. Not so much with the HE560 though. And that's it.